Welcome to the AV Forums review of Dark Souls Remastered on the PS4. To read the full written review, click the link in the description or the card top right of the video. Some 7 years after the game's original release, Dark Souls remains one of the all-time greats, and this solid remaster makes it all the more enjoyable to replay on current-gen platforms. Visuals get a tidy new lick of paint, and while it might not stack up to this generation's prettiest games on a technical level, the strong, dark, fantasy art style still does enough heavy lifting to help paint over most of the cracks.
Lordran.
Performance gets a nice boost as well, particularly evident in previously rough areas such as Blighttown, but noticeable and welcome throughout. Combat especially benefits from feeling that much more fluid. Fluid's not really a word you'll often hear used to describe Souls combat though, and the purposeful, considered fighting system of the original game remains fully intact in that regard. As with games like Monster Hunter, fighting is sometimes inaccurately described as being clunky or clumsy. It's actually anything but. The need to commit to every blow and think about your every move actually makes combat one of the game's greatest assets. We'd rate the world of Lordran as the brightest feather in Dark Souls' pointy cap, however, and it looks better than ever here. The way it all connects makes it fascinating to explore, and there's an incredible diversity to its many unique areas. One moment you're braving a dingy, trap-filled dungeon complex like this. The next you could be experiencing the breathtaking skyline of Andor Londo, traipsing through muck in Blighttown, or getting lost in the rich greenery of the expansive forests beneath Lordran. It's really quite epic in scope. One of the game's greatest strengths originally was its complete lack of hand-holding, and that feels even more relevant today as more and more modern games insist on continually telling players where to go and what to do, rather than working things out for themselves. It can be daunting at times, sure, but finding your goal and felling your quarry just feels all the more rewarding for it.
Well, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now.
It's not like there's a right way to go anyway. There are typically several core objectives to achieve to progress, and these can be tackled in whatever order you're comfortable with, or whatever order you stumble across them in, probably the latter if this is your first Souls experience.
You'll know, thankfully they were.
And what an experience it is. Few games could make being tossed into a pitch black pit with terrifying foes around every blind corner anything close to entertaining, yet Dark Souls manages it without even breaking its stride. This constant sense of peril is something that few modern games rarely manage to elicit. Even when the game is done, it's not done. There's new Game Plus if you want to further hone your skills against tougher enemies. There's online play, be it helping allies with tricky bosses or going rogue as a hostile invader. There are new characters to build, each different class demanding totally new approaches to some areas and bosses. It's endless if you want it to be. And you probably will, because Dark Souls is just as satisfying and enjoyable today as it was when it first came out. If you're up to the challenge it presents, Dark Souls Remastered is yet another must-play game to add to 2018's growing list. Yes, even if you've played it before. Jump back in, you won't regret it. We scored Dark Souls Remastered 9 out of 10 and awarded an unmissable badge. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe for more game reviews like this coming soon. This video is produced by AV Forums, Europe's largest online home entertainment technology community for televisions, home cinema, hi-fi, movies and TV shows, tech and gadgets, and video gaming, plus completely free classified adverts. Thanks for watching.